We did it. I think we are live. Now we're just waiting for it to stream on over to Facebook, which we did it. And now we are going live on the Facebook. It's all happening. Everything is magical.
Friendship is magic.
We did it. And here we go. All right. We made it. So, this is, let's do some quick audio checks just to make sure everything's going okay. John, how about you?
Hello, hello, hello.
And Amanda?
Hello.
All right, you sound great. All right, and so Linda is going to arrive at some point. She's having some technical difficulties. She's actually restarting her monitor her modem right now. So it's going to be just the three of us for a little bit, and Linda will join us when she can. So going into the open, we are 3, 2. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Engaged Family Gaming Podcast. My name is Steven Dutzman. I'm your host, as always, and I am joined by two, soon-to-be 3, of my very best friends in the whole wide world to talk about all of the big news in family video games and board games. To start stuff off, we're going to go to my very far right, and I will introduce John Tomlinson, the man behind the curtain. Sir, how are you?
Hello, hello, hello.
And what are we building today? I know you're always working on a Lego.
Today is Peely Bone.
Oh, we're making a Fortnite Lego. We love it.
We do love it.
And last but not least is my very best friend in the whole wide world, the Princess of Power, Amanda Farrow. How are you?
I'm doing really good. I love podcast night.
Podcast night is, in fact, best night. Longtime viewers and listeners may notice that it's kind of odd that there's only 3 of us. Normally we have a full house. Jeff will not be joining this week. He has a table read. His good news is that he got the part in his community theater show.
Hooray.
Is it the lead? I don't know. I can't remember, but I know he has a singing part. So he's gonna have to show off the pipes at some point. But Linda is also on her way. She's having some technical difficulties. She will join us when she can, and if she can't, then it will just be a cozy show with us, and we'll just have to hold off on Mom's playlist until next week. So, let's start with my favorite part of the show, and that's where we share our good news. Lots of negativity, lots of just nonsense happening. I would love for us all to talk about good stuff. So, John, what do you got for us? What's your good news this week?
Good news this week. I finally found a loan officer that might be able to help me through this, because the one I was talking to earlier just kept on pushing me off for 3 months. So
Wow.
hopefully working on trying to at least get the mortgage together by the end of next month, and then hopefully move by the fall. So,
Well, here's hoping that gets sorted out, and I'm glad that you have found somebody that is not going to be a problem. I know it's been a saga for you.
yeah.
How about you, Amanda?
Well, I am going to Games for Change this week, which is very exciting. So that's my big good news. So I'm going to Games for Change, and I'm leading a round table with my dear friend, Dr. Rachel Cowart. So I'm going to be talking about gaming across generations.
We love Dr. Rachel Cowart around here, obviously. Please send her my best when you see her. Games for Change is in New York, right?
It is. It's at the Parsons Institute of Design.
When is that?
Or Parsons Design School, I guess. That starts on Thursday.
New York's not too far. I
mean, there is that.
So, who knows? I might crash. Hey, everybody, we've got a new challenger has appeared. Linda, the Mistress of Magnificence, otherwise known as Mom, has arrived. and entered the chat. Linda, sounds like you got things going. How are you today?
I'm doing all right. Hopefully my computer's behaving. I'm not sure what technical things are going on, but I'm trying my best from this end. So, but otherwise, things are good.
Good to hear. Do you have any good news for us? Because that's a segment that you joined us in. Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, how's it been for you so far?
Busier than work. I'm more tired, and I have more things to do because I'm trying to cram all the things in like you do. So, it's been really a busy first, full week on break. But good.
If there was ever a human being that I knew that would be busier on break than during work, it is you. So, hopefully that settles down. But with EFGCon coming up in the next handful of weeks, I suspect that we're not making it easier. Excuse me. My good news is quite similar. It is summer break here. My wife is home for her first summer break now that she is a teacher, and so I have a full house. Everybody's here, and I'm the one working, full time, self-employed, and it has been great. I get to, hang out and see my wife. We went shopping today in the middle of the day, and it wasn't super crowded. And because my boss is really cool and flexible about letting me just leave the house in the middle of the day, isn't it? I mean, I think it's pretty awesome that he's that cool about it. So, yeah, it's been yep. Oh, we lost Linda for a second, but she's coming back. She's just gonna pop in and out when she can. So, yeah, it's great to have a flexible boss. It's absolutely true. So that is our good news. Before we go to what we are playing, because I know all of us actually are playing some interesting stuff, we did get a viewer/reader question that was sent to me through Facebook Messenger, which, by the way, if you have questions, you're certainly welcome to send them to me in any way you would like, via Facebook Messenger, email, etc. And here was the question, and Amanda and John are actually the two who would be best suited of the group of us. Linda can probably sit this one out because it's about the Switch 2. There were two parts to this question. Quote unquote, what's the deal with the Switch 2 was part one. I think that's a little bit too broad of a question to answer, but the real question was, we've got an 8-year-old, and we're asking if it really matters for an 8-year-old. Like, do they OMG need one right now? So I gave them an answer, but told them that I was going to elaborate on the podcast with two of my fellow experts, Amanda and John. What do you guys think?
John, you want to take this one first, or you want me to?
I'll let you go first.
Okay. So I feel like for an 8-year-old, I feel like it is probably not entirely necessary to have a Switch 2 right out of the gate. Now, don't get me wrong. I love Mario Kart World. I just love it. It is so much fun to play. It's great. I know the new Donkey Kong game is going to be a ton of fun. And you can actually get some decent bundles over at Best Buy. And at the same time, if the money ain't there and you can hold off until, the sales, then I would, quite frankly.
Okay. What about you, John? Do you feel differently?
So I wholeheartedly agree. Right now, the buy-in is if you have a family that's going to play Mario Kart every night, or you have a full Switch 1 catalog, that a lot of those games you maybe played a little bit, but like the load times were too long and they didn't look great. Now everything looks perfect. It looks like a brand new game. Like, I'm playing Metroid Prime Remastered a little bit more because I never finished it. I'm replaying Breath of the Wild. So like all those big games, if you have those around, those are going to be fun. And if on the weekends or you have friends over, then Mario Kart's going to be fun. So it kind of, it's where your budget's at. If you're gonna buy it and you have the money now, then go out and buy it. But if you could afford to hold off, I would hold off until a lot more games. They just announced a price for Roll and Ride, the mouse game, and it's
Oh,
the-
yeah.
it's going to
The
be
wheelchair
$20.
basketball game.
Yeah, it's going to be $20. So that's kind of another one where it's about worth $20 from what I've seen. But you know,
Well, we'll certainly be talking about that one. I think John and Amanda hit the nail on the head, and I'm not going to disagree with them. I think that it is perfectly okay to wait. You know, I got my Switch 2 day one because I had to, right? You know, I run Engage Family Gaming, and I could not, in good conscience, give advice about whether it was okay to buy a Nintendo Switch 2 without having played it and used it. So if I were a normal person, which admittedly the jury is out as to whether or not I would be considered a normal person if I didn't run this website, but if I were just a normal consumer, I think I probably would have waited. And you know, we know that Mario Kart's there, we know Donkey Kong Bonanza is coming in less than a month, and we know that they're not the only games that are out. You know, there will be other ones by holiday, and I think by that time there will be the value proposition will be there. I think, and this is what I've said multiple times on TikTok and on Facebook message, you know, Facebook reels and stuff like that. The absolute worst time to buy a console is when it launches. It's the most expensive. It has the least games. It will only get better. So if you can wait, especially if you're still working through that massive Switch library at 8 years old, yeah, you can wait. Rock it out for Christmas or even next year, because it's not like they're going to stop making. You know, there's still going to be awesome indie games that are all coming to Switch 1.
100%.
And we're going to talk about a bunch of them because this is going to be our kind of summer Game Fest episode. So we'll be talking about a bunch of games that are coming to both places. So, Linda, this is actually relevant. It looks like you switched over to your laptop, which I think was like Plan Zeta on Get You on this podcast. The listener question, and I think you've already made this decision. So tell me if you're happy with the decision. The question was like, is it a good idea to get a Switch 2 for her 8-year-old? And you've kind of already made the decision that you guys were holding off. Are you happy with that decision, even with the FOMO of all of us nerds playing Mario Kart World and talking about it every week?
Honestly, there's no FOMO. We're content with our decision. My children have asked for it 0 times since it released.
Okay.
Now, does my youngest still want it? Does he still want it? Yes. But he's not like, asking for it or, when are we going to get on the list to get it? When are we going to, there's no discussion at all. So I think he's okay holding off. And the nice thing with the meeting is by the time we get it, there will be more games to pick from to get it. Because if we wait 6 months to a year, I would be shocked if there's not more out there.
Yeah. So
That's real.
there you have it. I think that's yeah, absolutely. I think that answers the question for Owen, who asked the question with his mom. So the excuse me. So that answer could change. I mean, for all we know, like a Nintendo Direct could drop in 3 weeks, where all of a sudden they announce, half a dozen more games, and we could be like, nope, it's time, you got to do it. But as of right now, chill out. You can play. You can still play everything, and Mario Kart World will be there as as all the people playing Mario Kart 8 Deluxe still
100%
are playing it. So let's talk about what we have been playing. Linda, you showed us Fire in the Hole, which is a game that was sent to you based on a conversation at Toy Fair, and I've been very excited to hear about this one.
Oh, this was so funny. So, hopefully the videos come out. I haven't had a chance to go back and edit them. But this is hilarious. You are throwing little felt cannonballs onto the flip, and this is definitely show and tell.
Oh,
Rip.
Well, we lost her. Okay, so I can tell you, fire in the hole. You're throwing. Yeah, I just got some messages. Linda is kind of not audible, unfortunately. So the fire in the hole.
mhm.
It is a what I really like about it. It is a. We saw it at Toy Fair. It was on Kickstarter. One thing is none of the parts are plastic. It's all cardboard, biodegradable stuff. And it's a flip book that folds out into a big pirate ship with like a grid in the middle. And you're throwing colored poof balls in to the grid in the middle of the pirate ship to try and make a row and, sink your friend's battleship.
Okay. That's really cool.
And it is really awesome. So Linda, your audio actually came in real bad. Oh yeah, there it is. She's showing it.
Oh.
The video's a little rough, but it's like a folding, like it's a pop-up book, but it makes the little pirate ship. And we really like the fact that it is, there's the little poof balls. What we really like about it is everything is biodegradable. Meaning, if you're, when you're done with it, if there's nobody you can give it to, you could very easily just kind of put it in the trash. And it's not something that's going to be, cluttering up a landfill for a long time. But the reality is this is one of those games that I can see people playing for a very long time because it's got that, it's got that a lot of replayability, and it's, who doesn't love just throwing stuff? But they're poof balls, so you're not breaking anything. Linda, am I crazy on this one?
No, they're real soft. Yep, absolutely. And one little bonus thing, I don't know if you can see it. There's a QR code in the rule book. There's a playlist. There's a Spotify playlist that you can play while you are
Oh no, that's
playing
cool.
the game.
Is it all pirate shanties and
it's a
stuff?
cool little touch.
Oh, I can't wait.
It's really fun. So
We'll
I
definitely
appreciate
share
it.
that link.
The first one was my children made me turn off the music because they're no fun. But
What?
yeah, that was a cool touch. I know they're such stick in the muds with that, but it's fine.
If I had to
I called it
predict-
Forced Family Fun Time. It was great.
If I had to predict which of the 4 people in your house would be the least fun, it would not have been your kids. No disrespect.
It's all right.
John, how about you?
So I've been playing. I finished South of Midnight. It was good. The only problem I had with it was the mechanics. They get introduced and they look really cool, and then you just get a new mechanic in the next level. And it was kind of just kept on building rather than using them over and over again. But the story was good. The art's phenomenal. It's almost somewhere in between a stop motion game and Borderlands art.
Interesting.
Right on the line. Sometimes it looks like Borderlands more than the stop motion. I don't know if that's because I turned off the stop motion filter at times, because it would still show up during cutscenes. And then I finally started playing the Black Mesa remake of Half-Life this afternoon. I think I might be at the end. I've never played Half-Life more than an hour or two either game. So I'm very excited to finally get through Half-Life, maybe before they make a third game, because I heard that they might make a third game one day.
I mean,
We've been waiting a long time, bestie. I don't know.
listen, there is someone who once a business quarter puts a bunch of stuff on a whiteboard at Valve, and development of Half-Life 3 is on is in that list. That I am certain of. Does it get immediately erased and he gets a donut thrown at his head? Possibly. But there's a bunch of crazy people working at Valve. And there's a lot of whiteboards there. I'm sure of it. But yeah.
A lot of whiteboards. I love it.
Am I crazy? Tell me I'm wrong. You and I have
No.
both been in some crazy whiteboard meetings where people just be wild and with the whiteboards.
Throwing stuff on that whiteboard, and things are getting weirder and weirder. Or it's in a Miro board because you're not in the same space.
my
But
God.
yeah, things get
And
nuts.
there's somebody sitting in the backs being like, so you're saying there's a chance you might be able
That's
to do
the
it?
one. That's the part.
So speaking of mirror boards, the other day I put aside some time in my calendar to do some like learning at work, and because we get paid for it. So I was doing one of these independent courses, and like it wasn't a PowerPoint, it wasn't like a video course, it was a mirror board, and I was like, no, like it was a roadmap. So I was like, I am not doing a mirror board to learn something. This is just chaos.
That's real.
I was like,
Yeah, I don't blame you for that.
That's
I
real.
don't blame you for that.
back down.
Nor
But-
do I.
So I think it was a good decision to start playing Half-Life just because I think it's required reading for us adult gamers.
Yeah, I think.
But I think you've got time to finish Half-Life 1 and Half-Life 2 before Half-Life 3 comes out, by nature of the fact that, man, infinity is a long amount of time.
Yeah.
And both of those games are short. So neither of them are 150-hour epics.
When did Half-Life 2 come out?
Oh
it
my
was
god,
part of the
a
orange
zillion
box,
years
right?
ago.
Yeah.
It was part of the orange box with, like, Portal.
It was 2004, my friend.
Yeah.
So
It was the year I graduated high
mind
school.
you, Kingdom Hearts.
Do you need to do
Number
that to us?
Yes, every time. My children do it to me constantly. This is the only W I get.
Numbered Kingdom Hearts 2 came out in 2005, and then it was 2018 when Kingdom Hearts 3 came out. Just saying. The
We're gonna get-
entire Marvel universe up until Infinity War happened in between.
Yeah, well, I mean, listen, there's time marches forward, in an unstopping manner. So, I'm glad that you're playing those games. I got to finish South of Midnight. The game was really great and really gorgeous. Amanda, you told us that you have also been playing a board game, but digitally.
I have. Yeah, I needed a break from playing Rune Factory Guardians of Azuma, which I've been really enjoying. And I ended up loading up the digital version of Everdell. Game's great, friends. Like, it's been out for a second. This is not a new game, but it is really, really good. It is shockingly well designed. It feels like playing an Everdell game. And it doesn't take nearly as long because you don't have to sit there playing with the little fiddly bits. I like the fiddly bits, just to be clear. But, like, no one but me likes the fiddly bits. So I can play alone. And that's nice.
We do love digital versions of video games. Linda's sitting in the corner, and in the corner of the screen here. I mean, Linda, have you messed around with your wings? Have you messed around with your wingspan code yet, or what?
Ooh.
No, I've been in my getting the house reset from the end of school chaos. That is on my list to do next week. That I need to log
right.
into
Exciting.
Steam and try it out. So that's my homework before the next podcast.
Make one of your kids install it for you, so that way you don't have to.
That's the plan.
Good. Okay.
It's really
Because it is a
I'm
little.
gonna-
I mean,
I'm gonna
if
have
you-
them supervise me so I learn how to do it.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, realistically, once you do it once, you'll never forget. It's just the first time you do a code on Steam, it takes a minute, and then you're like a real EFG, like really getting into it because you get a video game code for a board game. It's like extra stuff. Speaking of old freaking games, I want to talk about the fact that I hustled like a crazy person to buy a Switch 2, and then most of my gaming time has been spent on my iPad Pro. And you know why? It's because somebody who works at Polygon posted a video about Luck Be a Landlord.
Oh yeah, Luck Be a
Okay.
Landlord is supposed to be so good.
So I blame Simone de Rochefort
That's fair.
greatly. Friend of the show, and she posted a video about Luck Be a Landlord, and I was like, "What's this thing?" It is a deck builder. I love deck builders, but it's a slot machine game.
It sure is.
So what you're doing is you're playing the game to earn coins, because it's not actually gambling. There's no gambling. It's just a slot machine mechanic. And you are buying the symbols that go on the slot machine with your fake coins, and you're trying to make rent. But it's all abstracted. You're not putting real world money in it. The game costs $5. The video itself was all about the fact that they keep getting taken off of various app stores because of gambling, even though it's not gambling.
Oh, you
And
mean
I was
like Balatro did? This is so silly.
yeah, so that was part of the video too. But then I was like, well, let me play this game. And so I played it, and I actually really like it. We're going to talk about it in the magazine. I actually think it's very cool. It's very engaging. Dangerous if you really get attracted into really compulsive gameplay loops like me. And then Simone de Rochefort, damn you, made another video about another game called Dungeon Crawler, which is a deck builder.
Oh no.
But instead of putting the faces on your board for a slot machine, you're putting stuff in a claw machine that you grab with the claw machine and you drop, and that's how you fight monsters in a dungeon crawler.
Oh no.
And let me
I'm
tell
in
you
danger.
guys, it's really freaking good. You unlock, it's like you pick up a little shield and it gives you 5 shield and armor. It's very good, folks. It's on iPad. Neither of these are part of Apple Plus, which was disappointing, or Apple Arcade rather, but they're both relatively inexpensive. They're very cool. Both are family friendly, realistically. It's just they are one more turn, please games. The good news is both of them, if you stop, you can come back and continue them. So they are not that kind of compulsive. You can stop and it'll continue the game. In fact, Dungeon Crawler gives you 3 save files to go through, and tons of characters to unlock, and all sorts of other wacky stuff. That's Luck Be a Landlord and Dungeon Crawler. Dungeon Crawler is relatively new. Luck Be a Landlord is about 4 years old. It's on Steam, it's on iPad, and yeah, it's really good. It's really good.
That's bad.
And this, check out this
That sounds really
roguelike that has deck building mechanics. Now everything is getting shown to me on the YouTubes. I just found out about 9 Kings, and I'm like, oh, it's like a kingdom builder, but you're drawing cards and you're making stuff. Oh man, it's just my whole life is over. I'm gonna justify it by making a listicle for the Engaged Family Gaming website of various deck building games with different mechanics. So that's everything about what we have been playing. Let's get to the main topic. But before we do that, Linda, did you have anything that you wanted to talk about this week?
I have a little something. It's a short segment this week in the craziness. I was inspired by the heat wave because I'm the fool that's been out in 95-degree heat, sweating
Bestie,
through multiple
no.
shirts to garden. Because I have a problem. I have a gardening problem.
I
But
We call
for
it
those who are not
awesoming.
Crazy like me, I was extra awesome. After I was awesome at the gym this morning. But that's another story. If you want to garden sit in the air conditioning, I have 3 games that are garden themed that you can play in the air conditioning and not be a fool like me and actually play in your real garden. So
Yeah, probably shouldn't do that
So,
right now. It's a
3
heat
quick
wave,
games.
bestie.
You can play in the
Okay.
air conditioning. Yeah, no. So Bloom is a roll and write, and we love these. And you are, my box is falling apart because I played it so much, but you are rolling and you're trying to gather flowers in your garden. And like a typical roll and write, it's very strategic, and you have to be very thoughtful on what you're collecting for your garden. So that's the
Yep.
first one to play in the air conditioning. instead of, weeding and putting down your mulch and the things that I did today. Gift of Tulips.
Okay.
I've talked about this one a little bit. This is
You
Blue Giraffe
have. I
Games.
remember
It
this
takes
one.
place in. Yes, this one is. I love the components because it is Holland themed. So it's got the different. It's got the windmill and it's got the wooden shoes. So very cute.
The
So it's
clogs.
taking place at a flower festival. So cute. And so then you're gathering different flowers for the flower festival, and the values change across the game. It's a typical Weird Giraffe game that there's more than you would expect. There's a bunch of little quirks to it, and once you figure them out, it's really, really fun. But this one's super cute at the garden festival. So you can be in the air conditioning for
Love
that.
it.
And then I love this one, Planted. This one is more house plants, but still garden theming. What I think is really cool is every card for the plants is unique. So there's no duplication, which is cool because you get to learn about different kinds of plants that are out there. And one of the starter plants is a spider plant, which is the best plant as a starter gardener because they're so hard to kill. But this one's so cute. And this was one that I picked up at Target. It was a Target exclusive when I picked it up, but the components are I know I've talked about this one before too, but the components are absolutely amazing. And it's for a $30 MSRP. It's got the canvas bags and just absolutely beautiful components. All the pieces are really help make the gameplay flow smoothly. So they did a really nice job of helping the player kind of guide through the steps with the player mats and everything. But this one's absolutely fantastic. And it's a Phil Walker Harding game. So we love his stuff too. So 3 games to be in the air conditioning with because I can guarantee you it was really hot gardening today. And I was out before the heat of the day.
I went ahead and put links to all those games in the various chats. So if you wanted to take a look at those, you can certainly grab them. And thank you very much for that, Linda. And thank you for your sacrifice being out in this heat to get that kind of inspiration for the playlist this week. I am not... Well, I did not go out in the heat to get the inspiration for our main topic this week for the covering the news. What I thought we would do, guys, is go over some of the announcements from Summer Game Fest that we didn't get to cover last week because, well, not last week, last episode, because we were talking specifically about the Switch 2. It was very important. And I want to start with chronologically the first announcement that we didn't get a chance, and that was Tokon Fighting Souls, which is coming in 2026. This is a 4v4 Marvel fighting game being developed by ARS System Works. Arc System Works, I mean.
Arc
not
System
ARS.
Works,
ARC.
okay.
ARC. Arc System Works. These are the people that make Guilty Gear.
Oh, yeah.
And so the first thing that is worth mentioning, it is anime as all get out. So if you're turned off by that art style, then this may not be for you. But they made Iron Man look like a Gundam wing, so they pretty much are making
cool.
a game for me. So it's coming out in 2026. We did find out that this coming Friday, literally the 28th of June, they're going to have their own direct. So I'm assuming that they're going to announce some more characters. It's a 4v4 fighting game, which has not happened before. So that's going to be really awesome. They have said that they're going to try and make this more accessible to younger and newer players by making it so that you can either control all 4 characters or really focus on the one. I don't know how they plan to do that, but it's the first time anyone has made a tag fighting game and explicitly stated that that is going to be an option. So we'll find out, because obviously it's coming out in 2026, so there's a lot of time. This thing, just to share, I'm going to share the screen just so I can share the art style on this a little bit, because this is just bananas.
That's incredible, dude.
Yeah, let me.
Wow.
We're not going to watch the whole trailer, but okay, so imagine this trailer coming up, and I'm sitting there with my kids, right? And it goes, and we're like, all right, dude's yelling in Japanese, and all right, it's a robot hand. No big deal. We knew it was Arc System Works. So I was like, oh, it's a new character for Guilty Gear. You know, like that we were convinced. And then we see Arc System Works. And then we see this pop up. And I was like, no way. That's Captain America's shield. And then and I was like, but okay, but like, is it really? And then we got to this and I was like, oh, that's Iron Man. And then we saw the Marvel Games thing. And then I literally stood up. And I had a bowl of chips in my lap. And I'm not going to say...
does it go everywhere?
Listen, I'm not going to say that I made a mess. But like I made a mess.
You're
and then
not going to say that.
Yeah, and then so like, look at this. This is insanity. Like,
That looks.
and so this is just crazy. So needless to say, I lost my mind for this one. I will be talking about it when this comes out. It will be my entire personality for at least a month. So I want to apologize to everyone.
I respect that.
I have already challenged all of my kids. I'm buying a fight stick to come along with this. I'm going nuts.
Oh, we're going all in.
I'm not saying I'm going to go pro, but like I got to play this. So that is. So what do you guys think about that, Linda? I heard you actually say that looked cool. I mean, are you going to play this with me?
Yeah. Oh no, I'll watch you play it though.
Okay. You know what? That's good enough for me.
Does it have? Does it have? Only if it has like the modification control, so I actually have a fighting chance of fighting.
I don't know. We'll find out. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe.
If they try to make it
Like
more
the Mario
accessible,
Kart
maybe.
where I can, maybe.
Who knows?
Maybe.
Who knows? So that is Tokon Fighting Souls. That was chronologically one of the first things because it came out of the PlayStation Showcase, which really had nothing for us except for this game and a little bit of Astrobot stuff. Skipping ahead, we also got some more information about Donkey Kong Bonanza, which is coming out very, very
so
soon.
Good.
So, sharing the screen again, the biggest news is that the little rock monster that was sitting on his shoulder through all of the previews was, in fact, Pauline, only a little kid. Like the chibiest, cutest little Pauline kind of ever.
She's
I
so
think.
adorable.
So what I really, the most important things that we found out about this are, number one, they told us how the game works. It's a 3D platformer. You're, going to a bunch of stages, and the stages are limited in scope, and you can kind of dig through them and explore them however you want. You're looking for collectibles, you're, fighting monsters, and you can transform into various different forms. And there's reason to go back to these various levels. I had no idea how this game was going to play. I was a little worried about it until I watched this direct, and now I'm all in. Is there anyone on this call that was turned off on this game by this direct?
No.
Yeah.
No. It sold me on it.
No, yeah, this is a day one.
Like, I'm
for me.
actually excited now, folks.
Yeah, me too. I was interested, but now I'm hype, which is, not abnormal for me. One thing that I really like about this is, and this is actually the article that I'm looking at, shout out to Game Informer, who are releasing their first magazine in a while.
So happy for them.
So
That's huge.
the big news is the game share locally. You'll be able to actually do local co-op, where one person will be able to control Pauline, and she basically sings sound waves to break stuff at a distance. And you can game share that with one copy of the game to a Switch 1. So if you bought a Switch 2, but you still have your Switch 1 lying around, you can hand that to the second player, and you can have a co-op gaming experience with a Switch 2 game locally.
Wow.
You can do it online through game chat with other Switch 2s, but this is one of the examples of the game sharing with the Switch 1, which I think the fact that they showcased it on like the first new game other than Mario Kart to come out is really gives me hope that this is a feature that we're going to see a lot of. This feature was so heavily used on the DS. The DS download was so used in the daycare with kids playing the games that had DS download, were so much more heavily used than anything else, just because everybody could play and you only needed one copy of the game. So I feel like this is going to be a pretty big deal. And Amanda, it sounds like you didn't even know that was a thing.
No, sure didn't. I think that's cool. I didn't see all of it because I've been in a game development hole pretty much this entire month.
You work. That's I get it.
I work too much.
Well, that's not something I can solve. Fair. But anyway, that is that is most of the news from Donkey Kong Bonanza. It comes out July 17th. So we're less than a month away from having 2 big Switch 2 games. And I think that is pretty awesome. Next, Yacht Club Games. Every time they show off their logo, I get really excited because I think I'm going to see another Shovel Knight. Now, we know Shovel Knight is one of my favorite franchises of all time. I unironically love Shovel Knight, and I've been dreaming that they would one day give me like a 16-bit or maybe like a Mario 64 kind of Shovel Knight game. So whenever I see the Yacht Club logo, I get really excited. But alas, they did not give me that. But what they did show us was Mina the Hollower, which is a game coming out October 31st.
Ooh.
And it is Legend of Zelda meets Castlevania on Game Boy Color / Game Boy Advance. And it's got some spoopy vibes. And this looks amazing. And so you're a little mouse doing Zelda, big time like Zelda Link's Awakening stuff with like the jumping and some of the verticality, some of the weapons. But this is very clearly like, check out this Game Boy Color vibe, but obviously it would never work on Game Boy Color. And it looks amazing. I just want another Shovel Knight game. Comes out October 31st, and the demo is out now on Steam. I missed that the demo was out until just now. I didn't realize there was a demo, so I haven't played it yet, but I'm very hungry to do so. Anybody else excited about this game? Does this look as cool to anybody else but me, or is this literally just a me thing?
I mean, this is definitely mostly, well, for me, this is not for me. It is not, but Vivian would be very excited by this. And probably my husband, too, because I think my husband likes Shovel Knight.
I mean, everybody at least secretly loves Shovel Knight. Because you have to, because it's amazing. But I can understand not wanting to play character action platformers. If they're not really your jam. So that was everything that was not in the Wholesome Direct. Next, the Wholesome Direct actually came back and saved the freaking day for all of us in the family gaming world.
So many good games.
Amanda, were you and when Amanda says so many good games, let me share my screen one more time. I don't know why I keep unsharing my screen. I just can't help it. But like, this is the games that were.
Those are basically all for me. All of them. It's okay.
And I'm still going. And these are all Wholesome games that were announced, or that were either announced or had significant updates, or etc. during the Wholesome Games Direct. This thing keeps getting bigger every year. And it's overwhelming how much stuff is in here, but I wanted to talk about one in specific. And that's Tales of the Shire.
Ooh, I want to talk about that too.
Amanda.
Yes, dear.
Is Tales of the Shire 10 years too late?
No.
John, is Tales of the Shire 10 years too late?
There's an Amazon show about, Lord of the Rings. But the fact that you can place your books on the shelf specifically the way you want them, is so niche of like Animal Crossing.
They made this game
designer,
for
like,
me.
I know. You and my wife, like, this is the first time all day she hasn't been sitting there playing Dreamlight Valley or The Sims 4. 'Cause of course, I bought her a pack earlier this week because, by the way, all Sims 4 packs are on sale this week. Until Friday.
So
Yeah.
so let's talk a little bit about Tales of the Shire. Amanda, what is this game? Give us the little rundown.
So, this game is a slice of life game, and it's also a simulation game, and it's also a cozy farming simulator game. So, in a lot of ways, this is like a management sim, a farming sim, a social sim. This is like you're embodying the life of a hobbit, right? Hobbits live really peaceful, cozy lives in the Shire. And you get to tend your garden, make it so beautiful, so perfect for you. You get to decorate your house and make it so cozy and so beautiful and so unique for you. And it is everything 14-year-old me wanted when the original movies came out. And I'm so glad that I get it now. Like, I really am. I really am so glad that I get this now. Because I'm really excited. I can't wait to, like, take the entire day off and do nothing but play this game.
This is so we do have a preview up on EngageFamilyGaming.com based on some videos that they did. So if you head to EngageFamilyGaming.com, you'll find it, or you can follow the link in the chat. It'll talk about some of the stuff that we just talked about. This is, man, listen, when they said they were going to make Lord of the Rings games, so many of us Amanda and I talked about this at length, right? When you're going to capitalize on the Lord of the Rings franchise, a lot of us immediately jump to action games and role-playing games and war games, and I completely admit, not in my wildest dreams did I think that they would make a life farming sim about being a hobbit. And man,
I'm so happy. I genuinely am so happy about this. This is going to be my new obsession and my new special interest, and I've been waiting for a game like this most of my life. So, yay.
Linda, I mean, we know that you're busy almost at all times playing Dark Souls.
I feel this very deeply, as I've been enjoying Night Rain myself.
True.
So, like, does this sound like something that might pull you away from the Soulsborne genre? And, obviously, your high KD ratio on Warzone. But, like, is this going to pull you away from pro gamer status and maybe do some cozy Hobbit life, or no?
I think this would. Of all the themes, this one definitely is intriguing me. And I think this may pull me in.
All right. Listen to that, guys. We actually had Linda not jokingly say that she would play one of these games. I can't wait to see that. I think the thing that gets me the most about this is the technical level the technical work they put into this game, because when John says you can put your books on the shelf anywhere, he's really not kidding. They actually they use the word cluttercore in their previews quite frequently, meaning they're referencing the fact that you really can just put stacks of stuff all over the place and neaten them up and just be like a little hobbit in your hobbit hole and just do all sorts of crazy stuff. And I think that is amazing. And that comes out July 29th. And according to Amanda and John, it is not 10 years too late.
No, it is. You know what? A wizard is never late, nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to.
And he's
wow. He do be in the game. Look, wait, hold on. I gotta. Wait, we got him. He's right here.
We do.
That's Gandalf.
That's Gandalf. The gray, not the white.
Yep.
Yeah, it's Gandalf the Grey. So, so that is Tales of the Shire. We got a few more games they told us about that I think are worth a little bit of a mention here. How about Winter Burrow? John and Amanda, do you guys remember this one?
I sure
This
do.
is-
I actually
so this-
just downloaded the demo because I remember wishlisting this last year.
Yep. So this has been this is not
Oh, how
new
cute.
in that this has been revealed a little bit. This is a little bit of storybook. This is a survival crafting game. Only you are a mouse in a very harsh wilderness, kind of building your childhood home. They've hinted at some story elements, but obviously you're dealing with some creepy crawlies, which are terrifying for you because you are a little mouse and they are not. But I think this certainly looks adorable. I feel like this is going to be a little darker than some folks might want, but I don't know if it's going to be like Watership Down dark. What do you guys think?
I think it's still got
It's also going to be
enough-
on Game Pass.
Yeah, I think that
Oh,
it's got enough where it's going to be tense. It'll be a tense experience, but you're surviving. That honestly is something that, should be tense. It should be a little scary.
Yeah.
You can have a wholesome game without it necessarily being cozy, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, wholesome games. There has been some contention over what they mean, what wholesome means, and whether or not that can involve scarier elements or combat and things like that. And it really, the main goal with the wholesome games is, the core principle is that they try to highlight indie games, of which this is one. But this is a game where the core gameplay loop is not the combat. The core gameplay loop is you're a cute little mouse trying to build your little mouse hole. And yes, there are some creepy crawlies doing creepy crawly things, but that's not the core. They just couldn't not tell you about it because, people got to know that that's there, because that's something that people who play survival games, they just got to know, right? So we don't have a firm release date for this one yet. They're saying it's coming in 2025, which the reality is we're halfway there. But this is one of those games that they could just tell us it's coming out in a week and it wouldn't really shock anybody because it'll be done when it's done. I also wouldn't be surprised if it gets delayed. Again, this is one of those games that I feel like once it comes out, it's going to hit Game Pass. I think it's going to hit hard, partially because of that Game Pass. And hopefully some streamers catch it and it is successful. That's what we like to see. Right, Amanda? You are
We love to
muted.
see indies win.
Yeah.
We do love to see
100%.
indies win.
Yeah.
Last one.
Don't starve, but like very pretty vibe.
Yeah.
Don't
Like-
starve,
like-
but make it mice.
Yeah. Make it mice wholesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's given me don't starve, but make it the Secret of Nim, only not quite as scary.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah.
So last one that I want to highlight, and then we are approaching time, and I want to talk about Squeakross. Speaking of mice,
Yes.
this is
That's
a
very
puzzle
exciting.
game where you are a mouse playing Picross, and you're making stuff to put in your house.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
so it's like, I mean, just look at this. Just look at this. Linda, have you ever played Picross?
Nope. Sorry.
Picross is
No,
so
you
much
don't-
fun. Linda,
you don't-
you
you do
actually
not have
would
to-
really like it.
So, quick Picross, let me see if I can get back
This
to
is
the
so
beginning. So this is like kind of I don't want to say it's like a Sudoku kind of thing, but the idea is what you're doing is you're trying to figure out where the blocks of cheese are. So like this one says there's 8, right? So that means in this row of 10 squares, 8 of them are cheese. And so what you're doing is you're going to say, okay, well, you figured out from the vertical, oh, okay, well, you know, if this row has a row of 6 and then 1, 1, 2, 3, 6, and then 1. So you're like kind of Minesweeper Sudokuing your way through to figuring out how many blocks of cheese you're gonna, you know, where you're gonna find them, and you make these patterns. And so you'll mark off the X, and you mark off the X's with your right mouse button or whatever, and then you know, eventually you're gonna have to take a guess and see if you're right. And so the idea is you're gonna fill out the patterns of these boards, and by completing the different puzzles, you will earn you'll earn goodies for your house. There are tons of Picross games where you're, you know, solving different puzzles. It's believe it or not, it's a really big Nintendo franchise. It's not on Nintendo. It's not a Nintendo franchise, but Picross has been huge on like the DS and then on the Switch. So there are tons of them, and it's one of those relaxing brain teaser puzzle games that you either really love or you want to delete them from your device so quick you don't even you can't even catch your breath. I rather enjoy Picross games. I don't ever have the patience to finish them entirely, but I love to have them around. So this one has the extra little piece of your cute little mouse and you're trying to get furniture, and so like that extra little bit I think might motivate me to finish these games a little bit more. That was Summer Game Fest. Obviously, you know, we looked at that Wholesome Games page and there were like 35 games they talked about?
At least.
It's absolutely nuts.
There's so much good stuff, man. I'm so excited. I just downloaded a bunch of demos too. Like I picked out the demo for Squeakgross. And for Winterboro, I'm also going to check out Camper Van, where you get to like decorate your own camper van. Clawsome looks really cute. Puny the Florist. And is this
Camper Van is literally
you just
decorate your own
camper van. Like Friends.
That's cute.
I think that's what I'm going to do tonight. Maybe I'll just
Camper
play
Van?
Camper Van. It's out now, but I want to check out the demo first.
It is in fact out right now, $15.
And there's some good bundles there with another Wholesome game, which is Instance, which is all about scrapbooking.
Oh my goodness, Instance is a scrapbooking game where the puzzle is you're trying to tell the story of this family by putting the pictures in order.
Yes.
And so you just get a stack of pictures. Yeah, and you got to make it cute, obviously. But like, the idea is so you get these pictures kind of out of context, and you have to put them in order, and you know tell this and kind of retell the story, and then you get to scrapbook with it. So you've got all these stickers and punches and all sorts of other stuff that you can do as you do it. I think it's a very cool game. Is it my jam? No.
That's okay.
However,
it'll be my jam for both of us. It's okay.
This is one of those games that is going to, like, the people who love this game, it's going to be so much their jam, they're going to cover everybody.
That's real.
Because, so, yeah, man, listen, every year they, Summer Game Fest comes around, right? And, you know, sometimes the big publishers, they hook us up, right? Sometimes they give us stuff to talk about, but a lot of times, our coverage and the fact that we have anything to talk about is hard carried by the wonderful folks over at the Wholesome Games Direct. So shout out to them. Actually met the person in charge of the Wholesome Games Direct at PAX East. And totally fangirled out on a level that I had to I used Amanda's name as a shield.
That's fair. Jenny's a friend.
You know, I was like, hey, Amanda Farrow told me she introduced me one way to you and told me all about you. She said you're wonderful. And then so I do that with everybody where I'm like, hey, Amanda, do you know Amanda Farrow? Of course you know Amanda Farrow. She approves of me. I am approved. It works.
You are one of my besties. You are more than approved. You are inner circle, sir.
It's
That's
it's
true.
faster. Anyway, so everybody, we made it, guys. We did it.
Woo!
We had some technical difficulties at the beginning. Linda got to plan Omega.
Sorry about that.
I mean, don't blame. It wasn't you. It was your internet being a
But
jerk.
There was one more plan in the queue. Don't worry, I had one more plan.
Oh goodness. Well, I mean, listen.
Did not
If we have
to
to,
Plan Z.
well, thank goodness we didn't have to, and the audio came through at the end also, so that was good. John, how far did we get on Peely?
Yay.
We got a leg
Peely.
and a foot and a banana boom whacker.
Hammer.
Indeed.
Shoot.
All right, so everybody, thank you very much for listening, and thank you very much for watching across all of the various channels. I know we had a couple people over on Twitch, although I wonder if you were chatting with us on Twitch, I did not see it, so I apologize if I didn't see any of your comments. We're gonna have to debug that problem, but we did get the stream to work over on my Facebook page, which is good. So, everybody, we hope to see you in a couple of weeks. And until next time, don't forget to get your family game on. We'll see y'all soon. Bye now.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.